Well, we're already in Wembley on one cup final, and we've just about squeezed through on another one. The Birmingham match, folks, coming up, Newcastle fans. So do us a favour, if you want to, and make sure you stick around. The black and white banter is back, but it's not for Carabao Cup, although I am still absolutely buzzing. I'm buzzing so much that I can't actually hear, so if I'm talking a little bit loud, it's because one ear, I think, is just screwed from all the crying noises from the Arsenal fans in the aftermath of that result. Look, Newcastle United are going back to Wembley. Whatever else happens this season, we hope that there's still going to be plenty more to cheer. We've got that to look forward to. Trains are already booked, hotel is already booked, Cloud 9, without a doubt. But this is a weird one today. So welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is a very weird one because we are straight back amongst cup action, and to go from the high of getting to Wembley on Wednesday in front of a packed out St James's Park, hugging strangers, celebrating with beers after, to Birmingham away in the fourth round of the FA Cup on a Saturday night is a bit, I'm not going to say it's a come down, I'm not going to disrespect Birmingham that much, but it's a weird, in 3 days it's very strange. And look, I've got my bag of drink. I'm just about to get on the supporters bus. Haven't been on the supporters bus this year. Been getting trains here and there for Arsenal and Tottenham since the start of 2025. But I'm a little bit worried about this one, and I'm always positive, and we are the favourites here, the overwhelming favourites. But there's going to be a bit of a hangover, I would feel like, from the players. Eddie Howe's going to make loads of changes, so we have to think about that. He's already said he will. So that always scares me, but Birmingham are flying. Top of League One, 18 matches unbeaten, and their place is going to be rocking. And Newcastle United have a history in this competition of these sorts of things not quite going well. So, look, I'm not going to say we're going to get beat today, but if any Newcastle fan knows their own football club like we do not do well against low league teams. And I'll dive into some stats later in this video and tell you a little bit more about that. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy a couple of drinks. I've had a long week at work with a Carabao Cup semi-final lodged in the middle. So let's get on the bus, let's get amongst it, and let's stay in as many competitions as possible this season and just see where that takes us. We could be going to Wembley 3 times this season, who knows? Anyway, I'm going to get myself on the bus because it's lashing down. Away, Eddie Howe's treble chasing Mags. Come on! No better start to an away day, than winning the football card on the bus. 50 big ones. I'm basically a millionaire. Don't know why I'm going to finish on my luxury cruise to the next match. 50 big ones from a couple of quid up the Mags.
I'm rich. Hey.
That was treble chasing Mags. How many times have we touched it? Right, we're in the boozer. Can barely hear myself think. Right, FA Cup, we're at Wembley. We've already got to Wembley once. Predictions today. Fourth round of the FA Cup, we're at Birmingham. Go on.
I'm going 3-1 Longstaff.
All right, okay, right. I'll take that all day. What yourself, sir?
3-0 today. I don't think we concede at all today. Rock solid defence.
Happy days. Right, so got your trains, hotels booked?
Hotels and trains booked from not going down the North East mainline because it's too expensive.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so
tight ass.
Darling, absolutely tight as
anything. We're driving to Doncaster on the Saturday.
Right.
Down on the Saturday. Got Sunday, we'll come back on the Monday.
Happy days.
Fantastic.
Are we bringing the cup home or not?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cups. Okay, now. Tell you what, I'll take that all day. Cups. Right.
Champions League place and 2 cups.
Champions League. Are you same?
Absolutely.
Okay, now. I think these gentlemen have had a couple of beers too many. I think Champions League place and 2 cups. There you go. Come on.
We'll do it.
You've got the Portaloos. You've got, this is a grimy entrance. This is the same as PSG away. This is pretty grimy. A fucking Asula shirt. What for the occasion? Asula. Right, half time. 2-2. Look, where do we go with that? They started very fast. Good finish in the box. Ball ping-ponging all around. But we had a reaction. I don't think we've had any control in this first half. We took the lead. Them lot shut up. But I said at the start of this match they would be up for this. They are literally top of the league. 18 matches unbeaten. We really haven't. We haven't had any control in midfield, which worries me. I thought it would really made so many changes. We got the lead. They've then equalised. Look, I'm doing this video in the toilet. On the second half we go. Ho, right then, it is the morning after the dramatic FA Cup game before. I think before we talk about that match and everything that it included and everything we learned, maybe let's just talk about the main factor. We are into the FA Cup 5th round, and that's the most important thing. Like, look, on another day, would we have preferred not to concede 2 goals against Birmingham? Would we have preferred a much smoother way that had no drama, no incident? Yes, of course, maybe, but sometimes you just got to look at a match and think that was an absolutely brilliant FA Cup tie. And I thought it was. It had a bit of everything. There was no VAR, which was lovely, because that added a bit of spice as well. But look, we threw. Eddie Howe's Mags go marching on to potentially what could, and I emphasise the word could, 3, I can't even say it out loud, 3 visits to Wembley in one season, and it's a long, long way off. So I'm not gonna start saying that's going to happen just yet. But it could. Look, the game itself, let's talk about it. First and foremost, there's been a lot made about the entrance into the stadium and how bad it was. Yes, to some degree, I agree it wasn't great going into the stadium. It wasn't. The policing and everything, there was a little wall that made no sense. It wasn't very well policed. But I got in and had a pint, and trust me, anyone who thought that was really bad I went to Dortmund last season, the Champions League, and I was crushed for the full match. Not just the entrance into the stadium, which was fine. I could not see anything, and I was about 2 people walking behind me from going over a wall down to the bottom level. That was awful. Hillsborough for Sheffield Wednesday in the Cup 2 years ago, that was really bad. So, like, whilst I do agree that it wasn't great going in, it wasn't that as bad as some people are making out. It really, really, really wasn't as bad as some people are making out. But yeah, that was the entrance into the match. But look, they started really. He made loads of changes. I was worried about that. I was worried we were on this come down from Wednesday, which was amazing. I was worried that was going to affect us. And he did. You know, Asula came in, Miley came in, Kraft, Target, who, God, we've barely seen anything of him for the last 2 years. I thought he was going to go to Leeds. So I was worried if they had a spring in the step. 18 matches unbeaten. I didn't get round to doing any stats on this video because I was enjoying myself. I don't always get the stats in if time doesn't permit. And they started really fast. Bit of a bobbly goal. Reactions in the box. And you're crapping yourself at 1-0. But if you're going to concede to a lower league team in the FA Cup, you would rather it was in the first minute of the match. And we built our way back into the game, but all I thought with that first half was that we had no control. We never ever had any control of the opposition, of the game, of the ball, and it was frantic and it was a ping pong, and that probably added to the fun for any neutral. And I'll tell you what, BBC, hats off to you for picking your football matches for the FA Cup this weekend, because 5:45 slot on a Saturday was just pure entertainment. Look, we in the frantic thing that was the first half, it was back and forth, and we go in half time, and I didn't know what to expect in that second half. I wasn't too happy about the way we had no control. I didn't think the likes of Miley had maybe impressed in that first half as much as I would have liked. Callum Wilson maybe didn't see as much of the football, getting as many chances as we know Callum Wilson is capable of, because when he gets them, he normally puts them away. And Birmingham had a spring in their step. Their fans were loud when they scored, although they didn't really sing when they weren't winning. I know it's a theme in most football stadiums, but you would like to hope the League One team gets behind their boys when they're not winning the football match. So at half-time, Eddie Howe has so many options off the bench, and my God, I will say it now, I am glad that he did, because he made big changes, and the one that stands out for me going into that second half was definitely Sandro Tonali. My God, when he came onto the pitch, he looked an absolute cut above every single other player that was on the pitch around him, and he really changed. We went from having no control to starting to dictate things, and that was all down to our Italian stallion, in my opinion. And look, I didn't know how the game was going to go. I was probably at that point expecting a bit of extra time. I didn't know, so I'm just going back and forth here because it's raining. I don't want to go too far from the house. I didn't know how it was going to go. I was expecting it to go down to the wire, possibly penalties. That's the last thing I wanted, because if anything, although I'd back Nick Pope, you never know how that can go at these sorts of places. And we get the goal and we get a little bit of luck. Look, we've had, talking about luck for goals, the first goal, one of the goals in the first half, that was not over the line. You've got the little one for Callum Wilson where Asula gets the assist that wasn't really an assist. A little bit of luck there for Callum Wilson to tap into an open goal. And then we had a little bit of luck with how the ball bobbled. Little move down the right, Longstaff, Willock, bang, job's a good one. Joe Willock. Let's move on to players now and talk about, but we got over the line, and as I said at the start of this little review, that was the most important thing, and I was delighted that we got that goal so late on, because I think Birmingham at that point didn't really have much more huff to puff, because if one thing that sets aside Premier League sides to League One teams is not only squad depth but fitness as well. So they didn't really have much left, but it was still a nail-biting couple of minutes. But we got over the line, and we still tell our Mars that it might not just be the Carabao Cup final we're not coming home for T4. Could be an FA Cup semi-final. Who knows? Let's see what that draw plays up. But individual performances today. Let's talk about the ones who actually started. Asula. Look, he played in a slightly more unfamiliar role. I think he's played there a couple of times in his career, like out wide, coming in. I thought he was direct. I thought he was aggressive. He's still a bit of a deer in the headlights in times, but he got 2 assists, although one was an unintentional assist, but he'll take it all day long. It would have been nice to see him get on the score sheet. But I thought he impressed. I thought he's given us an option there, because we've lost Almiron. Jacob Murphy's doing well enough. He obviously came in at the fray in the second half and had his own influence. But Asula got me up there for impressing, definitely. Joe Willock, we have to talk about him with his goals. That's only going to do him the world of good. He's had so many critics recently, and in certain matches, rightly so. The less said about the absolute idiots sending in their messages on Instagram, the better. That's not what I mean when I say critics. I just want to clarify that. I mean just for his performances. That's going to do him the world of good. He'll be over the moon. He's got more minutes. I think he's a player who needs minutes. Who else did well? Well, Wilson came through. As far as we understand, there was no injuries there. That's only a plus. We've talked about Sandro Tonali, absolutely class, but did we really think any other? I was surprised to see him play Bruno. He always has his influence in a certain way. And I thought, defensively, I'm not going to say Matt Targett really impressed me in that football match. I'm not going to say Lewis Miley massively impressed me, but I think what we all forget with Lewis Miley is the age of him. Just because he played for us when injuries were bad against the likes of PSG does not mean he's the finished article just yet. I thought he was good. I just don't think it was the game where he was going to come in and really pull up trees because of how frantic it was. But we all contributed to a really, really solid win in what was just a classic old school FA Cup tie. No VAR decisions, contentious balls over the line, balls bobbling around, goals going in, back and forth, 2 crowds going at each other. I mean, I've got a video of a lad who just stood for 5 minutes, 10 minutes watching the Newcastle fans, which was just hilarious. Great day out. Probably set off later than we planned, so we didn't get much time in the pub beforehand. Policing on the way in wasn't great, but Newcastle fans, look, on to Man City we go on Saturday, and who knows what we can get from that football match. Dan Burn apparently came off with a groin injury. I really, really hope that's not serious, because as these weeks pass, it is all eyes on that cup final. That's not an exaggeration. It is literally all eyes on that cup final. Newcastle United are in the 5th round of the cup. I think the draw's on Monday. Let's see who we get in that next round. And with no European football, we should keep prioritising these competitions to just keep ticking over with that league in the background, because do not underestimate, the league is still really important. Just because we've made it to a cup final, it really is. European football of some description is really important to this football club. That's the one that I've just had to wake up and take a breath from. But Newcastle United are through. If you like this match for Newcastle fans, you know what to do. Drop us a little likey loo, whack that follow, get that subscribe, and get Black and White Banter across all social media. And for the people who are asking, there is a Dealing with Eddie Howe's Mags episode coming for Arsenal. Of course there is. But remember, these things take a hell of a long time to put together. And I am booking in some time to do that in the next 48 hours plus. So there's the hill I might have to die on by saying that out loud. Uh-oh. Tell me, Newcastle fans, we might not be coming home for tea ever at this rate if we keep winning cup matches. Oh yeah.